matcha. Trying it everywhere I go.
So trendy.
I like it.
No, I'm not going to give you my vlog footage,
I
Jeremy.
need it for a vlog, but I'm asking her to send it to us.
You could just be more diligent and film for your own vlog.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Put the work in.
This is where the vlogs join, so look at that.
There you go.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, April 3rd, 2023. I just finished a video on Cody Brown and an update on an FLDS case, and now we're going to dive into Anna Duggar's Forsyth's damage control video that she released on Friday. This video was released like 3 days after Jinger was crying on Allie Beth Stuckey's podcast that she had lost everything and that speaking out against the IBLP means that you lose everything. And so naturally, with so much damage that has been done to the Duggar brand and to the Duggar family, it would only seem natural that Jim Bob would want some damage control put out where the family looks like they're happy, while also seemingly throwing some shade at Jeremy and disregarding boundaries set by Jinger. It was a mess of a video, and if you're a big fan of Anna, Forsyth, Duggar, I apologize ahead of time. I was not a fan of this vlog. This vlog moved way too fast. Her camera angles made me dizzy, and the music mixed with the complete lack of like dialogue and even seeing how people are interacting glossed over how the actual reunions went. And it was clear that Jinger was not staying with her sister Jessa, who was previously like her best friend, and she also wasn't staying at the big house with her parents. So clearly she's staying with Joy, who has a smaller house than Jessa, has less room than Jessa, has less room than her parents, but naturally she's staying with Joy because she's probably not allowed at the big house. So I did enjoy her telling Jeremy to work diligently. I mean, we can all admit he's kind of lazy, right? So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed. Turn the notification bell on if you want to get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. Make sure to leave some comments if you have something to say. You can share the video with a friend, and let's go. So Anna, Forsyth, and the Duggar girls have all entered the vlogging world because now that the show is over, their husbands, who apparently don't want to get real jobs. Okay, I'm sorry. Austin builds houses and he does have some construction companies, but Jeremy literally doesn't have a real job, and he's working as he's like a seminary student at John MacArthur School, and then he's like working for the graduate school, so he doesn't get paid for that. And then Ben is a pastor at a very small church where he's likely not getting paid much of anything. The only thing that they get out of it is free housing. So because the girls or the women didn't marry men that were very motivated, but were very motivated by the fame that their wives had, they're vlogging now because they are used to being front and center and they need to pay for their bills. That's my opinion. You don't see the Duggar sons doing this because the Duggar sons are busy working for Jim Bob, and Jim Bob's busy providing them housing. So there's that. So in this video, it was very quick. It was very fast. Jinger comes in town. She was there last week. One of my subscribers contacted me around Tuesday or Wednesday of last week and said that they had run into Jinger and the Duggar sisters shopping. I believe it must be the part where they were shopping at that one store. And they said that it was Jinger with Joy and Jana and some of the younger sisters, and that was about it, that they were at this shop and they were all with their kids and everything was good. And that's probably the part where Evie was running around looking at shoes. But there was a few parts in this video that I thought were interesting. One was Josiah was there, and he completely doesn't even look recognizable. Like, I don't recognize him. I actually posted a photo of him on my Instagram, and everyone was like, oh my God, he looks just like Josh. And I mean, the odds are that at least a few of Josh's brothers are going to look like him. They all share the same genetics. It's no different than Johanna looking like Jana, or I don't know, Jordan looking like Jinger. I mean, I don't know which girls look like each other. The two that I think look the most alike are Johanna and Jana. But a lot of the girls look very similar as well. Anyways, Josiah was there, and he was not with Lauren, which I thought was interesting. And then Kendra was there, and she was pushing a baby stroller. And then Joy legit could not keep showing the faces of Ginger's kids, which was odd. So the one part was at the end, they had just had a bunch of the family over, and they had all come over to Joy and Austin's for a family party. Everyone was there. Even Jim Bob was there, but he's eating pizza, standing at the door. You don't see him interacting with Jinger, but mind you, you don't see anything in this video because it moves so damn fast. But it seemed like they had to do it at Joy's house again because they're not invited over to the big house, because Jinger and Jeremy are probably not allowed over there because they're probably labeled dangerous by Jim Bob. But Jim Bob is not going to miss an opportunity to look like, you know, he's not holding a grudge for damage control, and that the family isn't the way that they say that Jinger and Jeremy claim they are. But at one point, Joy actually tells Jeremy that he can't take her vlogging footage and that he needs to do the work himself.
You could just be more diligent and film for your own vlog.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Put the work in.
This is where the vlog's doing, so look at that.
There you go. I'll share some of
He's
my
just
footage.
videoing your screen.
Okay. Anyway, we're about to head to bed.
It was so fun.
It's been, oh, there's this.
Wait, hold on.
It has been so much fun.
Really fun.
It's been so good.
So it's like the night after they have this party, right? They have everyone at the house, and they're all there, and even Jim Bob. And she's filming Jinger in a very awkward position. And then Jeremy's asking to share footage. And she's like, no, you can film your vlogging footage yourself and just be diligent. And then, you know, he's like, yeah, Jeremy. And I don't know how well Jeremy gets along with any of the guys, because I was told by a source that he's just not very well liked because he doesn't believe like they do, and he's an outsider, and he's kind of arrogant. I'm not sure where Austin and Jeremy sit. I think they could probably tolerate each other in small doses, and they're probably very different human beings. But as fast as this starts, it's like a whirlwind. They're only there probably 2 days, I'm assuming. And she's filming. I mean, mind you, she shows Evie's face when they're at Jessa's house. She shows Felicity's face multiple times in this video. I actually clipped out a part where she had pizza in her hand, where you can literally see Evie's face. And then this other part I showed you, she's taking a, you know, sort of like panning to her and Jeremy and Jinger, and she catches Felicity in the background. She knows she has, and she flips over and she said, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And she didn't have the wherewithal to actually cut that out of the video. She knew that she knew that Jinger didn't want Felicity on camera. And then post-editing, when Joy puts this entire thing together, she doesn't clip out or cover the face of Felicity. Now, mind you, it's not always easy to blur a face out individually. I just did it, and you can see that my blur went over multiple screens, and it traveled, but at least you didn't see her face. She could have just cropped it out so you didn't see Felicity's face. She also could have just not included like the whirlwind of the video that had Felicity and Evie in it. Jinger has been so vocal about not wanting her daughters on TV and not on social media. She hasn't shared a photograph of her kids' faces in years. We have never seen Evie's full face since she's been a baby. So it's just kind of odd that Jinger goes home and Joy is showing the girls' faces, almost completely disregarding Ginger's boundaries and her privacy. And then she's telling Jeremy he needs to work and be more diligent. I do think the guys think that Jeremy's lazy, and I think that sometimes this is just passive aggressive, and I'm sure it's like said in jest and it's all fun, but I think there's truth to it. And I also think once you go through editing and you've allowed a child's face to be seen multiple times, it's not accidental. So part of me is like, what was the motive with putting this video out? Was it to prove that everyone is back with Jinger? Was it to show that the family all gets along? Was it to try to put something out for content? And obviously they're both vlogging, because even Joy at one point makes the point of saying that they're vlogging while Jinger and Jeremy, while she's filming. And Jinger has been on her social media nonstop. She has done so many interviews for this book that she even is having Jeremy interview her on her own channel. So as though it's not enough that she's been on every single podcast, now she's going to have her own video of her own interview on her own channel, which is just so bizarre to me, that fans are getting tired of all of the interviews, of all of the promotion, and they're like, Jinger, take a break. It's enough. She's already sold enough copies to be a New York Times bestseller. I'm sure she's making money on the residuals and on the number of copies that she sells. But at some point, you have to just like kind of chill out. Everyone's heard everything she's had to say. Every interview is kind of the same. I mean, some are better than others. But this vlog was just so odd to me. And then the way it ended was like this.
For us, because we've had rain and snow in LA. So random. Not typical for us. So usually we have the sunny weather, but we came here to Arkansas for sunny weather and warm. It was pretty decently warm. Yeah, it's been like in the mid-60s every day, which is so nice. Anyway, the kids are going to be really sad for Lissy and Eddie to leave. Good memories, lots of pictures taken.
Oh, that's my kid.
That's your kid? Are you playing? What are you playing? Pretend?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jinger is very obviously like not an Arkansas person anymore. Is it an Arkansan? I don't even know how you call it. I don't know what the word is. Arkansan, is that it? Arkansan? She's not an Arkansan anymore. And she makes the point of saying like, we normally have really nice weather, but it's been rainy and snowy in California. And we come to Arkansas to get better weather, really sort of setting the standard that like, I'm not from here anymore. This is just where I come to visit, which I think I don't see Jinger ever living back in Arkansas anymore. I mean, why would she go back? There's nothing for her there anymore. But then Joy ends the video and she's like talking about how they're going to make content on this new camping trip they're going on in their RV. And they're going to teach Gideon how to ride a bike. And you have to tune in for next week to watch them on this camping trip. So really what I'm learning from Joy is that she is now turning her family into a commodity like her parents, and everything that they're doing is apparently for content. So this trip that Jinger has is made for content for both sides, for Jinger and Jeremy and for Joy and Austin. It's also likely damage control by Jim Bob to show that we all support and love Jinger, even though I have to point out they never go to the big house. She doesn't stay with Jessa. She doesn't show Jessa and Jinger hugging. I'm sure they did hug, but it was weird that she left that part out. They don't see her even interacting with Jim Bob. And then Anna is completely absent with the kids. And then Jed and Jeremiah aren't there. Jackson isn't there. There's like, Joe's not there. There's so many brothers that are literally just like, they don't even show up, which is so weird. Wait, no, was Joe at Jessa's house? I can't even remember. But Jed and Jeremiah literally never show up. Jackson doesn't make an appearance. James is there for like 5 minutes when they're getting ice cream. So obviously she's in there in the middle of the week. It could have been that they were working. It could have been that they were out of town. I don't know. But Anna and the kids aren't there. And they don't go to Jim Bob and Michelle's house. They can't go over there because Anna and the kids are there, and because Jim Bob's probably not going to let them go over there, and they probably don't want to go over there because they don't feel welcome over there, and because they're probably not allowed there. And then in all of this, Jill wasn't there. When my subscriber contacted me, she did not see Jill with them at all. She made the point particularly to say, I saw them out, I saw them shopping, but they were not with Jill. It was Joy and Jana and Jessa and I don't even know. It was Joy and Jana and Ginger and some of the younger girls, but no Jill. Someone said that they saw Israel in one of the quick clips when they were at the cafe, and I didn't stop to look to see if it was Israel or not. It could have been, but Jill wasn't in any of the videos, and Jill also wasn't seen when she was over at Joy's house. So clearly there's some differences here with Jill still, and Jill also lives 45 minutes away, so maybe she couldn't get there. It's just so messy, and all it does to me is prove that they just want everyone to think that it's normal, and it just, why would you, if you're Jinger and Jeremy wanting to separate yourself from all of this, why would you go back to Arkansas after you've been spending all of these weeks saying that you've lost everything, that you don't agree with how Jim Bob is so controlling, and you've said a lot of different things about the way that they grew up that you didn't like, to only go back there while you're in the middle of your book tour? It just, either it's to show that we're all a united family and we can get through this, and that Ginger thinks that she's gonna save people, or Joy and wants damage control, or Jim Bob wants damage control. It's just so messy. And I feel like, I'm just going to say this, if things were as great as they were, she would show them talking, and she would show the conversations that were being had, and we didn't see any of that. The only conversations we saw were Ginger and Jeremy with her having conversations. We didn't see what the conversations were like between her and her mom or her sisters. It was literally just Joy talking most of the time. I would tell Joy, just my own advice would be, invest in a better camera. Do not use your phone for everything. Be a lot slower when you're filming. Make sure to manage your edits. Don't include people in videos that don't want to be included. And certainly do not put people's children in your videos that have specifically taken steps to not have their kids online. That's just my 2 cents. So what are your thoughts about this? Is it damage control or is it not? Is Jeremy getting shaded by Joy, and is Joy disregarding Ginger's privacy? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.